Good afternoon, gamers, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Games with Dave. Joining me today, all the way from Poland, is the man behind Helltongue Storytelling, Pawel Kicman. Pawel has created some amazing Morkboard compatible games, such as the forthcoming Hell Power, Court Borg, and Kill Your Necromancer. His current Kickstarter, Pills Fvll of Gods, Rehumanized, is a cyborg compatible supplement that just has just under 2 weeks to go and has absolutely crushed all of its stretch goals. So be sure to check it out. The link that is down below. And if you haven't backed it already, be sure to do so. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all good, all good. Glad to be here for like fifth time or what?
I think it's
Like
the
I'm.
sixth time, actually.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I meant to
Like
check
just
before we went live, and I'm like, that
just book
you
me a
and
slot
Diogo
in
keep kind of
advance.
leapfrogging each other of who's been on the most.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Just book me a slot. Like for the next year or two, like once each quarter, and I'll be there. I don't know if I'll have anything, but I'll be there. And
I
it's good
love
to
it.
be here. Good
I
to
always
see you,
have a good
buddy.
time talking with you, man. We always wind up going for, I could talk to you forever about games and everything else. And so it's great. Um, how is
Thank you.
Hell Power coming along?
Well, slowly. We're just working on art and writing. There's still a lot to be done. So I really wanted the game to be at least playable before Christmas. We'll see. Not sure if that will work out. There's still like a lot to be done for like even a playtesting version, but before the end of the year, it is possible. But Mihao, who is working on like probably like 90% of art, is just crushing it. Well, it's just a lot of work for like over 100 pages book, so we'll have a lot of amazing art. Plus there's so much stuff to put together. So it's coming along slower than I anticipated, but slow and steady wins the race, I guess. So
That's right. And as they say, perfection takes time. And I'm sure this is going to be a kick ass game. So I can't wait to get it. Are you going to be doing what do they call that on backer kit? Like a post backer kit? What is
yeah,
that
like
called?
pre-orders or just
Thank
late
you.
pledges or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we'll have like something like that, like pre-order store or something alongside like when we just once we start with the pledge manager, because it's all backers first, so they will be the first to complete it, etc. And once they are kind of good and comfy, then we'll just run pre-orders for people who missed the backer kit campaign. So yeah.
Yeah. That was the first project I had to miss. And I was like, no. And
Yeah,
I've got
no
to have
worries.
it. And then
Like
I have
it's
the complete Pavu collection.
yeah, yeah. I'll have like a box for you, so you will be able to put everything in one box with like my face on it. So
If I take all the books out, you're just in the back staring at me.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
honestly, like it's everything is like the same dimension. It's like A5 size, so it should be relatively easy to put things into like one box. So.
Oh, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't give yourself any ideas, because then you're going to launch the next Kickstarter and
Uh,
be like, well, the next one would be your fifth book, right? Or sixth book? No,
I
sixth,
don't know.
I
It's
think.
even probably it's even more than that. I think so. Yeah, so like, don't even count, because I still have like there'll be two books coming in digital first before Christmas. So Whispers of the Woods will be one, and Odyssey of the Giant will be the second one. Um, and they will rush to print like after Christmas, probably like after New Year, because my printer that I'm working with is basically probably just kind of leisure time between Christmas and New Year's Eve. So after New Year's, both books will rush to print, and yeah, and then Hell Power should follow up, and we should have also pills ready. I think, yeah, like January. We should be good with pills, because basically we have a lot of pages done in advance that I just need to tweak the writing for a little bit, and like most of the updated script is ready for pills. I just need to add solo rules and that adventure, and we should be good to go. And yeah, Unit 6 is working really efficiently on the spreads, so we should have a quick turnaround on this one.
Nice. That is awesome. So I know you're a big basketball fan. I've got a question for you. And Ilias says, Collector's Hell Tongue Box, the Pavu edition. The idea is out there now.
Oh gosh, yeah, like that. Like maybe at some point I will have so many kind of scenes for Morgborn and Cy Börg and stuff like that. Then it would make sense to have like a collected edition or something. But yeah, shoot with the basketball question.
Well, I'm just wondering your take on Bronny James.
My take on
I,
Brandon James is like,
I
honestly,
think you could
don't
beat
know.
him.
Like, no, I mean, still, I think like people are not probably giving him enough credit, because still he's been competing in a kind of best league in the world with like top 500 players in the world. So, and he was doing relatively well-ish for like a few minutes a game, and now he's like in a G League,
Yep.
just kind of learning the ropes there. So I guess obviously there's a lot of publicity in it. Just oh, my father, and he's in the same team, but other than that, I think he's definitely one of the better, like he's probably in the kind of the 1% of best players in the world, so that's something that probably we cannot take from him. And there's
No,
this
I just like
uh,
to give
yeah,
him a
no,
hard time.
but there's like there's this great quote from Brian Scalabrine, who was like one of the worst NBA players of all time. And he said, I am closer to LeBron James than you are to me, which is true. Like when if you play in the NBA, then you're like already great, kind of on the like whole basketball plane. So it's the 1%. So it's
That's that's pretty bad when you've got Scalabrini giving you a hard time, because when he was with the Celtics, it's like it was like, dude, what this guy? What is this guy?
yeah.
And
Yeah. And then I
all right,
remember then, and he got like he had his own show when he just played like regular people and some NCAA players and stuff, like high schoolers and whatnot,
yeah,
and like pros from G League, I think. And yeah, and he was like he was playing like 1-on-3, and he was dominating them basically. So it is true, he is closer to LeBron than any of us, or any kind of some overseas pros to him, I guess.
but it's crazy that he doesn't look it when you throw him in like the 10-man roster, and
Yeah,
then he'll get like he looks like people will pick on him, kind of like I did with Bronny, of but then if he were to play me, he'd be dunking on me like it was nothing. So um Elias wanted to
yeah.
know, oh, gotta switch
So yeah,
headphones.
yeah, switching because they were just battery went dead.
Oh no. So Ilias was wondering, now that it's mentioned, any teaser for the adventure of what the premise will be.
Yeah, it will involve a cult kind of investigation thingy. So
Nice.
because like the whole thing is basically, so we'll introduce some new enemies like different cult members. So I just will try to use that so that we aren't cults and stuff like that. So
Nice. I can't wait. Um, what made you go back to Kickstarter for this one? Because you did backer kit for Hellpower.
yeah, so like I do love some of the stuff on Backer Kit, but it's just uh like the organic traffic is abysmal, like it's non-existent. So that's the worst thing. So on Backer Kit, I can have a great start and I have a great finish, but the middle is just basically sometimes it's nothing. And now for pills, I have a lot of daily traffic from like organic sources, so from the main Kickstarter page, or I've got this badge like Project We Love on Kickstarter, so that kind of also attracts people, etc. And on BackerKit, if you don't promote heavily daily, if you don't put a lot of money on a table to buy ads, then it's just like so so yeah,
That's kind of a
so that.
pain. I don't blame you.
Yeah. So I like also Kickstarters. What they've been doing lately is they've been updating their kind of services a little bit. So now on Kickstarter you can also have this pre-launch page with some additional bits on it. So previously it was just like a one banner and title and short description. Now you can add some more stuff to it, so it looks nicer and then kind of gives a premise of what's to come. And now also, I'm not sure if it's working already, but I've heard there will have this new option to put pre-launch pages like yourself, because previously on Kickstarter it was like you had to have like the whole project set up and then send it for review, and only then you were able to launch your pre-launch site to gather followers, which makes no sense. If I want to like start Kickstarter in 6 months, like obviously I won't have a finished campaign, and I
Right.
want to like have that pre-launch to attract people, just to build the base of followers. So finally I think that will be an option. Not sure if it's now, but I've heard it will be. So yeah, so we'll see. It's going well on Kickstarter now, so maybe
No,
I'll
dude,
stick to that.
you're crushing it right now with.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Maybe that's kind of the Kickstarter effect, that kind of whole organic traffic. But I'm just looking. Yeah, we are closing in on that last stretch goal, which is great. And I was like, I put those stretch goals, and I was like, yeah, if we unlock like two stretch goals, I'll be happy. If we unlock like if we hit like 5K, then I will have some money for taxes and bread. And yeah, and now we just we still have like 2 weeks to go, and it's going very well, so I'm pleased. But to be honest, I feel like the two factors for that: one, I took my time with this. Like I didn't launch like prematurely, so I was able to build some base of followers before. And then the other thing, which I think is the most important thing, is what Unit 6 does, like has done with the spreads and some graphic elements for the campaign. So like the whole campaign looks absolutely amazing. I've added just a little bit here and there, so I think that kind of that sells it as well.
Yeah, the spreads are amazing that you've got up on the page. Uh, I can't remember if you sent the one to me with the street food or not, but I was
I
looking at
don't
that
know.
one, and I was looking at that and I'm like, oh, that's so cool that you even got like a street food menu in there. So, you brought up the final stretch goal. So why don't we kind of touch on that a little bit? If it
Oh
hasn't happened
yes.
already while we're talking, because it was climbing towards it,
Oh
and I
no, probably.
believe.
Yeah, it's still like 400 euros left.
Oh,
So
I thought it was only $100 away. Or oh, see, that's why I'm getting confused. Is
yeah,
the switch from
yeah, the
euros to
conversion.
dollars? So,
Yeah.
um, so we'll be getting a soundtrack from the band Basilisk.
Yeah.
Um, who are they, and how did you come to know of them?
So, like, I was actually meaning to ask if you can play, like, if it's possible for you to just play some stuff and for people to hear, because we could listen together. I can send you a link.
Yeah, go by all means. I should be
I
able
can.
to. Hopefully, I don't disconnect us, but I
No,
should
I
be
can
able
just
to
put
do it.
it. Uh, I will just put it um, on YouTube. Like I'll send you a link. But yeah, basically, I found Basilisk on. Wait a second, on Reddit. It was basically I was just like random post on Reddit, like, oh hey, I've got this soundtrack that's kind of cyborg, more Borg vibing kind of stuff. So I just, I clicked and I listened. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing! Like this is bonkers. Like this is great. So I was like, huh, what if, what if so I just wrote to him because I think it's just a one man operation. It's like, hey mate, I absolutely love what you've done with this new album. It kind of fits perfectly the supplement I'll be working on in a few months. Like, would you like to collaborate? Like, what's your rates, availability, and stuff? So yeah, we just talked and I said, okay, listen, so I'll just set it up as a stretch goal. If we can hit that, I'll have money to pay you. I would absolutely love to get a few tracks. So yes, I'm super excited because like having like custom made soundtrack for your book, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Give me just a minute here, and I will
Yeah, sure.
see if I can do this without causing any issues.
No worries. Yeah.
Let me see. I know I can put music up in here. Now it's just a matter. I'm still learning the software. It's kind of funny because
No worries.
can I post a link or
Oh, I see Sons of Terrain. Sup, guys? It's all good. How are you? We're just trying to play some music so people can listen uh to Basilisk.
I
Plus, like
may
the
have
name,
to.
like yeah,
It's a great name.
yeah.
I've got to. I think I would have to open a downloader to download it to play it on the stream.
Okay, no
If you
worries.
have a if you
We
have a
can like
track, you do you want to
yeah we
drop
can
it in the chat?
we can just uh I will send you this, but we can like you can go in there. There's just an album on YouTube as well. So highly recommend. Like I would absolutely love to like have the whole interview today just praising both Basilisk for the amazing music and also Unit 6 for amazing art. So
Yeah, the art is
that's
killer
really
as
cool.
always with your projects. So,
Well,
man,
it's
it's not
you know
gonna.
you know why it's killer, because it's not mine. Because I just I have this innate ability to find such amazing artists, and for some reason that I just still cannot comprehend, they're willing to work with me. So
Well, you do great work, man. Don't sell yourself short. Like,
uh,
all your projects have been fantastic so far. So, all right, we got another. Actually, Ilias says, could you go more in depth about working with Unit 6 and how that came about?
Oh, sure.
He's
So,
beating me with I love this. He's helping me out with questions here while I try to
yeah,
figure
like
this
you can
out.
just, yeah, just lean back and just, relax. Um, so I've seen his work previously on Kill Engine, and some other like smaller, more Borg stuff. And I was just like, yeah, this is, it's just such a cool vibe. And I was actually, it was just like probably the very first day when I decided, yeah, I want to remake Pills. So let's look for someone who could do it. It was just like my first choice. So I was like, hey man, I love your stuff. Again, I have this project, and it was actually funny because like, oh, I have this project that I've done. Here's like two sample spreads. So obviously this was shit AI stuff. I love your style. I would like to see how you could rework this. Uh, and it was like a day later he just sent me two spreads and like, oh, okay, so this is what I've done. I'm like, okay, I didn't even ask you to do anything, but whoa, this is amazing. So yeah, I think we do have an understanding here, and it's definitely what I'm after. So yeah, so then
That's
we just took it from there.
that is so cool. You didn't even have to ask, and you got spreads.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, like whoa, and it was amazing. It was, I think the first one was for Moonpunk, and I was like blown away, because what I absolutely love about Unit 6 and like his designs is not only illustration that's super, like it's clean, but it's also very punkish. But I love all the small elements in the layouts. So for cyberpunk you can do so much, like little different kind of glitches or like code sequences, stuff like that, or just in general just work with the colors to put an accent on this kind of cyberpunkish feeling. And yeah, and Unit 6 is basically like got this ability to do it, so like it looks like it's effortless. I know it's a lot of hard work, and it's probably a lot of experience, but just looking at the spread, it looks so so good, and so in the right place, so to speak. So super happy with that collaboration, and hopefully I will be able to work with Unit 6 on some future projects as well. So
that would be super cool. You actually brought up you laid the perfect segue for me. You brought up the Moonpunk. You're introducing four new classes: the Ronin, Private Eye, Pro Wrestler, and the Moonpunk. Three of the classes I feel like tell you what they are. What is the Moonpunk though? Because I've never heard of that one.
yeah, so me neither. Like I just made it up like 3 years ago. So basically this is like, think werewolf vampire kind of occult parasite thing mashed with a cyberpunk kind of vibe. I know it makes no sense,
Oh, I
but
can totally see it.
so basically, this class is infected by a parasite, and you can roll for or choose what kind of effect this parasite has, but it's only kind of active during the night. So only when the moon is up, you gain specific. I don't even want to say powers, because it's hard to say powers, but it kind of gives you some like, it transforms your body to a certain degree that kind of unlocks new abilities or ways to play, or role play. But it kind of, you can turn basically into kind of werewolf or a kind of vampire or kind of other things. So it's a lot of body horror, kind of
Right.
Cronenbergish um, thing with that parasite changing you physically, but also giving you some pros and cons to use in the game. So that's Moonpang.
Nice. That sounds really freaking cool, man. So I actually decided to just purchase their Invader album, and because that would be the easiest way. I just downloaded it. Do you have a specific song you would like me to put up?
I think the most fitting and one of my favorite is God.exe.
Okay. Give me
So
1 second here. I just want to make sure I don't have the volume too loud.
sure.
We're going to add this. We're going to go here. And that is currently uploading as we speak. And processing. Cool. I figure it never hurts to support another artist. So, all right. Now, hopefully this isn't too loud and doesn't blow anybody's eardrums out. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more. Can you hear it, Pablo?
I can hear it.
Okay, perfect. Oh man, this makes me just picture myself like tucked in on a like motorbike zipping down like a neon lit highway.
Yeah, but it's City of Cy, and you will die in like 5 minutes.
Oh, this is killer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a perfect vibe for Cy Börg. So
actually, what I will do, I'll turn this down a little bit more, and I'll just leave it playing while we talk.
Sure.
And
I hope it's like it's copyright ish. Is it okay from that side?
We'll find out, I guess.
The Basilisk, please don't sue Dave.
I'll make sure I put credit to the song in there after we
absolutely.
Yeah, Tommy said this sounds awesome, and I have to agree.
It's absolutely worth buying the album. It's like only $10, but it's such a cool, it's amazing.
Yep, I saw that and I'm like, oh, it's only $10. I'm buying this. So I had to take your word on it being as awesome as it sounds. So for folks that might not know, there is a specific reason you're doing the rehumanized version of just lost my brain, of Pills Fvll of Gods.
Yeah.
And can you explain that for folks that may not necessarily have heard of the previous launching of the project and what brought this about?
Sure, absolutely. So could you turn the volume down just a little bit more?
I'm gonna actually. Yep, I will indeed.
Yeah, it can fade away, and so basically the first version of Pills Fvll of Gods was just kind of digital 30-something pages supplement with basically very similar content. We'll get there. But it was an experiment to see how much AI tools, generative AI tools can do in terms of creating that kind of supplement. Sorry. So,
right.
So basically, the tech was very new and fresh. It was like 2.5 years ago, I think, like 2.5, 3 years ago. So it was very early days of the whole Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, ChatGPT stuff. So I thought like it's super cyberpunk to make a cyberpunk supplement using that kind of technology. And so I did a little bit kind of a little Kickstarter for that, just so people could pay a little bit more to get their NPC, like to create their own NPCs and stuff like that. So it was a very small campaign. I released it. It was like basically the whole art was AI generated, and some of the text, but not too much, because it was, as I mentioned, early days. So while the art looked weird, but kind of weirdish, like interesting, the whole writing from GGPTs and similar technologies was absolute gibberish. So it wasn't very usable other than for like some random tables. So most of the writing was done by me without any aid. And then some time has passed. We all kind of learned about this technology a little bit more, about how it works, how it kind of takes from artists in terms of like scraping databases, and like how it's being fed with data those companies don't really own, how it impacts environment, how it's like basically in a legal limbo without any regulations, how it's being used by different corporations, and how kind of, like about all those kind of ethical, legal, and creative issues around this technology, and there are like a lot of issues. So I decided to basically like hide all the, like, to delete it from itch and drive through RPG. And obviously who had like people who kind of backed it or bought it before, they can obviously they still have it. But I decided, I don't want to share this for money or for free, just kind of basically erasing this from the net. And then, some more time has passed, and I was always kind of reflecting about some interesting stuff, like Moonpunk, such an interesting class, or some cool random tables I come up with and wrote myself, and so some other things. And then I saw that there's a lot of different supplements for Morkborg, not so many for Cyber, and I was like, could I revisit it? But if I do this again, I really need to do it properly. I just need to have like a good reason, because I don't just want to kind of copy paste and get some art, like whatever, and release it. I need great artist who will like really bring life to it. I need to rewrite it, balance it more. I need to add new content, and I need to do something else. And to that something else, we'll come back shortly. So I found Unit 6. I decided I know like what I want to add. So like solo rules, adventures, some other random tables, more stuff. I decided what I want to polish, what I want to change, what I want to balance. So the full product will be better in every way, from art obviously, but to writing as well, and the available content. But then I also decided that I want to give back something from this project. So 10% of all the future proceedings, and why future, I will also come back to that in a second. 10% of all future proceedings will be donated monthly to one or couple of different charities that supports human artists,
Nice.
especially young artists who are maybe struggling to find work, or to just enter the market now when it's so saturated with all that AI crap. And why future? Because Kickstarter doesn't allow any, like even a single penny to be donated to charities. But I found a workaround that, like, okay, I can launch this, and I can make this campaign, but everything else that will come after, so all the kind of retail and wholesale sales, I obviously can deduct 10%, keep it safe, and then monthly donate it to charities. And I'll try to engage also all the backers to help me choose those charities. So I still will kind of use the backers and people who supported this project to then bring some more attention, a little bit of money to those artists who might be struggling. So that's the idea. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I love that you're doing that, like donating 10% of it to, like you said, even younger artists to kind of help them get going. That's so cool. And I've actually got an idea that I'd like to talk to you about after that just popped into my head that maybe we could work together on. But anyway,
Cool.
um, another really cool thing that you have as one of the stretch goals is the God generator.
Yep.
And
So honestly, I don't even know how it will look like. I just thought people love like online
generators.
random generators. So yeah, I'll just let's do
Kitty.
one. Yeah, Mia. Um, and actually, I will show you something. Not sure if you've seen it, uh, but Mieczko, Borg has got its own, and I'll post it on YouTube as well. I've got a random corporate generator for Borg, and yeah, this is absolutely amazing. It's been done just like a few months ago by Code Leeches.
It's so
Uh,
cool looking.
Who's yeah, so I'll definitely try to work with them next time. So I think Elias is even asking if it will be developed by the corporate developer. I think so. Yeah, if I can only get that person to be available. Yeah, and I think I this it's not going to be just like a god generator, which would make some sense. It will be more kind of adventure generator. You can like generate a god, and you can generate a lot of different stuff. To basically act as plot hooks and like other stuff, so you can quickly build your own adventure with it.
Are you cool if I pop this up on the screen
Yeah, sure, please
for folks
do.
to see? All right. Let me do that and do that. Do that. Now let me make sure I put the right one up here. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. Let me actually do that. Do that. And there we go. That is really cool. I like how this has been done.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
I'm still getting used to this new software. There's so much new stuff I can do that we couldn't do before when I was using OBS. So it's got all the skills, flexibility. That is so cool. And I don't know how well the folks at home can see it, but
No,
it
I
is
can
very cool.
I can look at it on the other screen, and it's visible, readable.
I'm blind as a bat, so it's even with my glasses on.
Yeah.
All right. So the other thing that I was going to ask about the God generator is, and you kind of answered it. Did you actually develop? It's 4 plus 5d12 gods, which I guess I'm
Um.
all over the place with this. Did you
Yeah. No,
develop
no
all those
worries.
gods?
So no, it's basically we have a pay like a spread which is called lesser gods, and this is basically like um is a kind of random god generator on page. I think it should be 3D12, but still it's more of a again like a plot hook device that you can roll a god of, like I don't know, something silly like god of cars, whatever. So you can just plug that in and use it. It's more of a kind of fluff thing rather than
Gotcha.
something super mechanically useful. But I like those stuff. It just adds character to the whole thing. So the
It does.
online generator will be more complex, and it will give a lot of like more options So it is usable, and it's helpful for the GM.
Very cool. So, kind of backtrack a little bit. What, like, because I hadn't seen the original Pill Full of Gods. So, what are the pills and how do people get them and how do they affect them when they take them?
Sure. So as it's in the name, the pills, that there's a new drug basically in the city of Cy. It's called ambrosia, and when you take it, you have a certain chance, because it's not guaranteed. You have a certain chance that you will see a god. You can see a like major god or a lesser god, or you can just have a very very bad trip. And it's like it's available on the streets. Like you can just go around the corner in the game and just find someone who will sell it to you. And then like the effect of seeing the god is one thing. It's just only an introduction to basically communing with said god. And by communing, I mean you can make like kind of a deal with that god. Or just for you can be granted some sort of specific boons, but you have to give something back. So every god is different. We have a few gods. We have Astaroth, which is god of pleasure. We have Mammon, which is god of money. But you cannot pledge allegiance to Mammon, because that would break the only Cy Börg rule, which is you cannot have sympathy to like capitalism, corporations, or the police. So you cannot pledge to Mammon. We have war and death. That's one god, and there is Netrubel, which is god of hacking. And basically you can pledge allegiance to some of those gods and be granted some very powerful mechanical and interesting role-playing buffs that will make the game more interesting. But you have to do certain things to prove that you are worthy and to prove your allegiance to those gods in exchange for those boons.
And I imagine they're not nice things.
Definitely not nice things. No. Very bad things, in fact. But that is how the game is, I guess.
Yeah.
So
That's what makes it so fun,
yeah.
It's like, um, so aside from the obvious, how are the solo rules going to affect the game versus playing as a group?
So there are already some very, very cool solo rules for Cy Börg. I found, I think, two very interesting and like very comprehensive. But what I'm doing here will be much more compact. So it's more for people who just want to like have like 5 minutes and just kind of read the rules and what it's about. Just roll some random stuff on paper and then play solo. So if for people who are not familiar with how you role play solo, it's in most cases basically kind of journaling or writing a story game, when you roll certain on certain tables, and that will decide on, for example, you will set up a scene, and then you roll like you would normally roll to have a success. And you can roll to ask questions, because you don't have a GM who would answer your questions like how many people are in the room, or what's the ambience here, or can I shoot through that window, etc. So you don't have that, but you have oracles, the kind of random tables that will answer those questions for you. And then it's for you to interpret those answers and kind of act accordingly. And then you can just write it down on a piece of paper on your laptop, or you can record it. Like on a voice recorder or something, and that will be your solo adventure. So here we'll have just a couple of like a few pages with short rules and a lot of those random tables that will help you build that world, because already people will have main cyber book, which is on its own very comprehensive. It's a lot of amazing stuff. Like I love it's one of my best, one of my favorite games of all time, Cyborg, and I love the book. So I don't think it needs a lot to be playable solo. So just like a dozen tables or maybe a little bit more, to help solo players navigate through the streets of Cy.
For the few minutes that they're alive.
Yes.
Well, at this point, what I'd like to do is turn it over to folks watching to see if anybody else has any questions. And I want to make sure there's nothing you feel like we missed. I think we kind of touched a little bit on everything. But I do want to see if anyone has any questions out there before we do wrap this up. I think Ilias asked all of their questions. All right, well, it doesn't look like anyone's got anything. So before we do hop off of here, my friend, I'd love to give you a minute or two to tell folks that may stumble upon this before the end of the Pills Fvll of Gods Kickstarter, where they can find you on the socials and where they can pick up your work.
Oh gosh, that's always the most difficult question, because I would love to be on the social mores, but it's just it's like another full-time job to do it. But you can just search for Haltung Storytelling, and the best ways to get my stuff is either through my store, which is shop.haltung.online, or on my H page, or on HIO, Haltung Storytelling, or on DriveThru RPG. So that's where you can just get my stuff, and you can find me on Facebook or on Blue Sky. Not so much on Twitter anymore, and just type my name with or without this weird sign that most people don't even know what it is, and then I should be there.
All right. Well, do you feel like we hit everything you wanted to hit? I'm just gonna pop this up real quick. Ilias said, "Any news on Corptober Jam before you go?"
I do have news that we will, like 99% sure that we'll announce the results before Christmas. We have collected like around 60% of the votes so far. We're still waiting for one judge to complete all of his, and for the other judge to complete some of his. But it's been busy for people, but we are progressing. So definitely we'll announce everything before Christmas. And my thoughts on the gem is that it's like superb, like all the stuff, such amazing work. Like, I'm not sure, Dave, if you follow the Corptober gem.
I have been so out of the loop with everything that it's crazy how out of
I
the
can
loop I
bring
am.
you
So
up
you'll
to
have to fill
speed.
me in.
So basically, I've run a game jam for like supplements, like basically 2 pages supplements for Borg, and community made different stuff: characters, adventures, corporations, random tables, and we've collected over 30 entries, and
Nice.
it's and we'll rate them. So I'm judging, Brian Collin from Creature Creation is judging, Tommy from Obscure and Groden is also one of the judge, and Chris Lowry, who's just recently finished kickstarting Morg.org, is judging, and we'll have some like monetary prizes. It's like nearly $300 in money, with some other cool stuff. And the idea is that next year, at some point, we'll see, probably like second quarter or third quarter of the year, I will be running a campaign for the first official Borg supplement, which will be probably called Unions. We'll see if that is just kind of working title. And one of the things, hopefully, we'll see how it goes, that will be available at cost of printing, so it'll be super cheap to get, will be a like zine with all those community made stuff. And honestly, I was like, yeah, I'll probably have to select those that are, you know, of highest quality. But then I was like looking for the submissions, like, dang, like it's all the highest quality. So
Nice.
so I think like at least I think like 90% it's already good to go with some minor editing, and hopefully we'll be able to work with the creators to bring everyone for this project. It would be super cool. And yeah, it was such a great experience to see people making such incredible stuff. So I'm very thankful to have people like willing to do it. Um, so yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, that is so cool. One, that you do that, and two, that like all these people that may have never been published before will now be published writers. You know, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, but I'm just copying from Pirate Borg,
Yeah.
honestly, because yeah, they've run this super cool game jam, and I think we've won something at that game jam. It was for Cabin Fever, and I thought, well, it was nice, it was cool. Let's do something similar. And then I thought, they've done this kind of something similar. So they had their Kickstarter for the Pirate Borg supplement, and they've also done this Cabin Fever as a book that people were able to buy at cost. So yeah, so if just stealing ideas from the best. uh,
But it's I think it's the coolest thing. Like I've gotta get more. I just don't have that much time to play with everything that I'm doing. And I've got to make more time to play so I get more familiar with rules so that I can jump into all these jams that are going on, because it seems so fun to
yeah.
just be able to, you know, one, have it limited to say 2 pages. It really forces you to focus on what you're doing,
Yeah,
you know?
but also I also thought it would be like it would be very interesting to see, people can do a spread, and also it won't take a lot of their time. Like some people worked a lot on those submissions, but it's kind of more concise, and you can then easily, like, more easily break it down. So and compare, like, okay, so I have a class, it's like 2 pages. I have a corporation, it's 2 pages. So it's easier to put in a book. It's easier to then like judge, and I think it's also a bit easier for people to decide. Okay, so if I do, some people had multiple submissions, but some were like, okay, so if I have to do one, what I will do, so they could do, like, for example, a new class. So it's kind of more kind of focused and streamlined. So uh, I think that worked well.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'll be there to back that too. So,
Ooh, thank you, Dave.
and we already know that we have another time to have you on.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I was trying to take it slow because I will have so many projects, and I like finally also I finally I'm able to slow down, because like the first year, when I went full time doing this, it's very stressful because it's like living from one Kickstarter to the other Kickstarter, and then it was just too much at some point. I wasn't able to kind of finish everything in time, and kind of I needed, to kind of think ahead. But now finally I'm in a place that I can, relax a little bit, be more proactive, and kind of don't sweat too much on it. So I'll take it slow. When I have something super cool and carefully planned, I'll show what I have. So yep.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to having you back on again. And Ilias and Tommy, thank you for being active in the chat. And thank you, everybody that tuned in. If you enjoyed our little chat here, be sure to give it a like and maybe think about subscribing to the channel. And also, I am horrible and hate doing self promotion, but I am going to say if you're looking for some cool minis for your table, check out gameswithdave.com. And then also be sure to jump over to Kickstarter and back Pills Full of Gods. And let's get that Basilisk album unlocked. I almost said Berserker. But folks, thank you so much. And thank you, Pavu. I look forward to having you on the next time. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day or evening or night or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know. The time zones. All right. Have a good night or afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.